Good morning, my neighbors. If you don't know that joke, I'm not going to explain it to you. Jim Ostrowski, live from the Tonawanda bike path, heading to the Erie Canal. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it, frankly. I'm getting old. But, yeah, I try to do a big walk Saturday morning because it's a dead spot in the schedule, get my steps in. So that's what I'm doing. I don't have anything to say. I'm just bored. So I want to share my boredom with all two people who are watching right now. So I just a quick thought. I was talking yesterday. I did a kind of a rant about. I try to explain to people what I'm up to. Like, I really don't care about the headlines of the day. It's not what I'm about. I never have. The issue of the day or this or that sort of triviality, bad news, good news, it's all transitory bullshit. What I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to do a lot of things, but explain some of the things I'm trying to do. I'm trying to peel the onion, and so that after 50 years of studying politics rather fanatically, and not only studying it, but doing it. And that's the difference between me and a lot of the professors. I've actually been doing it. Like, there's legal theorists who write about the law from an ivory tower. I'm actually in court. Like, I was in traffic court yesterday. And I normally don't go to traffic court. It's beneath me. But I occasionally go, largely because a friend, a client, asked me to. So I burned about 2 hours of my morning yesterday going to traffic court, and it's like, the guy got a ticket because his engine was blowing out, and he was trying to get the car off the road so he didn't clog up the road. He got a ticket because there was some friction between his family and the police. It's like, so I have this like granular understanding of how the police work, how the courts work, how town prosecutors work. And among other things, it's not all about the Benjamins, as I just alluded to, but it's largely about the Benjamins. So, again, one of the differences between me and the professors is I have 1 foot in academia. I have academic credentials. I've taught college. I have peer-reviewed articles. I've written 13 books. I'm very careful about facts. I'm very careful about citations and footnotes. So I have 1 foot in academia, but the other foot is in the real world. And that's what, I hate to bash these people, but that's what a lot of these people lack. So, and the example I like to give is, you got a lot of people on the right, pundits and a couple lawyers who don't practice law much, some professors, and they talk about the importance of the rule of law. And I have the same question all the time. I repeat it all the time until it sinks in. None of these people have apparently ever been in a courtroom. None of them have actually litigated cases. I have extensive, I might have more experience in the American justice system than almost any other lawyer in the country. And I say that, here I am rambling, but at least I'm not bored anymore. I say that because I do criminal and civil litigation in state and federal courts, and I do trials and appeals. Now, I haven't done a lot of federal criminal, but I've done some. Let's put it that way. I did a federal criminal appeal once, and I've been in and around federal court litigation, formally and informally. So, also, and I practice law in 2 states. As I said, I've been state and federal court. I'm down in New York City. I'm up in Buffalo. I've practiced law in Buffalo. Let's go down the thruway. Buffalo, Rochester, many times. I've tried cases in Syracuse. I have a matter in Utica currently, and I've been in Albany courts as well. I won an election law case. It was well, I don't know if it was actually a trial, but I won an election law case in Albany. I've litigated in the 3rd Department in Albany. I've been down in New York City. I'm admitted down there. So, point I'm trying to make is, with this, I forgot the fact that when I was 3 years old, my father was a judge, and I was heavily involved in, watching him as a judge and the politics and the law and all that stuff. Went to his court many times, went to his office many times, discussed things with him many times, never confidentially, but public matters and issues of the day. Tried 2 cases with him. So when I speak about the law and, is the government capable of producing justice, I challenge anybody. Come up with anybody who has more of a factual and basis for his opinions and assertions. I don't think they're opinions, frankly. They're whatever they are. I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt. I mean, I'm making what I think is a reasoned statement of the truth of the matter. I think that's something a little bit more than an opinion. Doesn't mean I'm right. I'm just saying it's not an opinion. So what I'm trying to do is, in the time allotted to me, I'm 67, is sort of get to the bottom of the matter, of the truth of the matter. I'm not running for anything. I don't care. I mean, I don't have any donors to please. I can't piss off any donors because I don't have any. I'm self-employed. I can't get fired. And I'm not running for public office. And if I was running for public office, it would only be to educate the public as to issues. It wouldn't be because I care about winning. I don't really want the power. Well, I don't want power at all. So just that's basically what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to peel the onion. I know I use that cliche a lot, but I like it. And get down to the truth of the matter, explain it to people, and then what people want to do with it, that's up to them. Because do I look like a puppet master to you? I have no army. I have no troops. I have a tiny organization, libertymovement.org. Best logo in politics in the last 500 years. I'll die on that hill. And that's what I'm working on. I mentioned a few things yesterday. I have this sort of what I call it an institutional analysis of the state. And forgive me if others have done this. I kind of did some research on it, and I think it's as far as I know, it's original with me. I'm not saying other people haven't done it, and maybe maybe I attended a lecture once and subliminally picked up this idea. But what I like to try to do to explain to people in an elevator pitch, why you should believe certain things or not believe certain things. What I like to do is say, so the government is supposed to do X. So what I like to do is cut through all the bullshit and ask the following question. Does the government have the competence to do X? Because before you ask the government to do X, shouldn't you prove the government's capable of doing X? And you could almost say this one question is kind of a summary takedown of the entire progressive state of America. Because what do we ask the government? I did a podcast about this, but this is not exactly the first time I've talked about this. But basically, what is the whole progressive project? And I don't mean progressive in terms of leftist. That's very confusing. Use the term leftist when you mean leftist, and don't use the word progressive to mean leftist, because the progressive's already there serving a really important role, which is to indicate what the continuing influence of Woodrow Wilson, Teddy Roosevelt progressivism on our politics. Progressive, small p, progressive meaning the government's going to solve all of our problems. So it's sort of one by one, not all at once. So in this progressive project, and we're all sort of born into the progressive world, we're brainwashed into it. Even I was a progressive when I was a kid. Of course I was. I didn't know anything else. Yeah, there's problems in this area and that area of life, and of course the government's gonna. Who else is gonna do it if the government doesn't do it? I mean, we all, I was a dumb progressive. I woke up very early. I think I shed that shit off by the age of 21. So this progressive project, what's it all about? Well, it's like, okay, we've got poverty problems. Well, we'll get the government to fix that. We've got health problems. Oh, we'll get the government to fix that. We want to educate people. Oh, we'll get the government to educate. We need peace. Oh, the government will keep the peace. We need harmony. Oh, yeah, but the government will do that. The government will make sure everybody gets along harmoniously. Do you see what I'm talking about? And finally, the big one, we need justice. We need justice. We have to have justice. You could maybe put it on my tombstone. Jim believed there was no justice in this world, and he damn well proved it in his final book, his unpublished manuscript, to be buried with his body on the event of his death, because he never kind of got it to the publisher in time. A day late and a dollar short, but that'll be on my epitaph. Jim proved that there's no justice in this world. Period. That's true. So before, so I'm having fun here, and this is distracting me from the fact that both of my feet hurt like hell. Arthritis really sucks. If you have arthritis, the best thing to do is walk 10,000 steps a day. So, what's the point? The point is, it's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. We need government for infrastructure. Oh, okay. Can you prove to me that government's good at infrastructure? Oh, no, I just assume that it is. I assume that it is. We need the police. Okay. Can you prove to me that the government is capable of providing a police force that accomplishes what we want to accomplish at an efficient cost without doing a lot of other things that we don't want done? And I pointed this out in the past in terms of this argument about supporting the police, not supporting the police. Do I support the police? When they're defending the natural rights of individuals, yes, I do. I support them 100%. When they're violating the natural rights of individuals, I oppose them 100%. So that's my position on that. So again, getting down to the elevator pitch of the state, I use sort of a structural or institutional analysis. I look at the skill set. I go to the root of the issue and say, in any area, health, welfare, harmony, peace, justice, education, what have I left out? poverty, the economy, trade. I look at any of these issues and I say, does the government have the skill set to improve society in any of these areas? And that one question, the Ostrowski question, the answer is a resounding no. And not only is the answer a resounding no, it's an obvious no, and there's really no counter argument at all, none. And so that's really what I'm trying to accomplish in terms of theory and educating the public about the nature of the political problem and the political problems, the nature of the state, nature of the economy. And that's what I'm trying to do. It's like Trump did this and Trump didn't do that, and Biden did this, and the Congress, and the blah, 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 blah. It's all sort of trivial bullshit. So that's it. I'm on my way to the Erie Canal. If my feet hold up, I'll make it. In any event, I encourage everybody to realize that political action is largely a waste of time, but direct action is not. And I think voting with your health is the best form of voting. Voting with your feet is another excellent form of voting. And right now, I guess I'm voting with both, because I'm voting for with my health. I can't remember the title of the book. And my feet on the way to the Erie Canal in North Tonawanda and back to North Buffalo. Have a great morning, everybody.